Well, the World Cup isn't very far away, and it's about time we start having discussions about the top orders, the fast bowling, the middle orders, and कौन सी team सबसे strongest लग रही है. And right now, a few of the teams have actually announced their squad, and England being one of the teams who have provisionally announced their squad, but India, Pakistan, Australia kind of have given a hint on what they're gonna be going for in the World Cup. So कहीं ना कहीं let's analyze all of these teams, and I'll leave it up to you guys today to decide कि कौन सा top order सबसे best है. But all I'll do is give you guys some facts, some of my own opinions, and towards the end, maybe if I'm convinced enough by my own talk, I might just end up giving my own opinion and say कि यार ये team का top order सबसे strong है. But starting with the home nation, India, very strong opening, and it's sad to see कि ये opening इतनी talented है and इतनी experienced है, उसके बाद भी we fail against left-handed bowlers, against top teams Pakistan, Australia, New Zealand, and sadly the middle order has to come in and support us each time. You know, Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill as the two openers. I think KL Rahul's time as an opener is finished, especially in the ODI format. If anything, he'll be coming in at number 4, number 5 kind of position. Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, you know, he's got what averages 49. Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill averages 62, and in Asia he averages 75. So you know there is quite a big difference in between what they score against the top teams compared to what their averages are. So that's something that India need to really utilize and make sure that the openers start off well. मैंने इंडिया के साथ जो देखा है इशू क्या रहता है कि हम लोग कोशिश करते हैं कि पहले 10 ओवर में पावर प्ले में जितने रन्स बन जाने चाहिए, बट वो हमेशा बैकफायर कर जाता है हम लोग को. You know, India has the talent in the middle order, in the bottom order, to come in the 40th over and the last 10 overs smack around and get about 100 runs, 80 runs on the board. So अगर पहले के 40 over में we can get to 250, and then you can wreak havoc in the end when you have wickets in hand. You know, end में क्या होता है कि जब आप क्या हार्दिक पांड्या, निशन किशन आर कमिंग इन एट 20th ओवर, तो यूर लाइक यार इनको पहले 20 ओवर सर्वाइव करना है, फिर अगले 10 ओवर में दे कांट मेक अ मिस्टेक बट दे स्टिल हैव टू हिट क्वाइट हार्ड, विच इज़ व्हाट कॉजेज द इशू. एंड देन ऑब्वियसली व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट नंबर 3 पोजीशन, विराट कोहली, उसका तो कोई कंपैरिजन नहीं है. एवरेजेस 58, 12,000, ऑलमोस्ट 13,000 runs in 275 matches with a strike rate of 93 is uncomparable. I mean, he is just, I think he's going to have a blast in India. Although his form hasn't been great so far, but I think he's going to have a blast in India once the World Cup kicks off, and he'll have such a good opportunity to express himself as that number 3 kind of batsman and hopefully lead India to another World Cup, because there are a lot of hopes with Virat Kohli, with this Indian team, and a lot of support and a lot of backing as well from the selectors and everything. So I really hope that the selectors have made their good choice and selected people well. Talking about Pakistan now, because they actually have quite a decent lineup as well. And Pakistan ki maine hamesha se kaha hai ki bowling has been their advantage. They like to constrict teams down to a lower score because of their fast-paced bowling, because of their spin bowling, and then chase it down if required be. That is why sometimes maybe when Pakistan bat first, they don't have a great record, because वो एक total जो बनता है वो काफ़ी low होता है, और फिर उसके बाद teams can kind of adjust their own strategy accordingly depending on how Pakistan is bowling on the day. But starting with Babar Azam and Imamul Haq as the two openers, and Fakhar Zaman at number 3, we've seen what Babar Azam and Fakhar Zaman have done against Nepal again, and then against Bangladesh as well. They had a great run. So it's like a perfect kind of mixture for Pakistan to attack and defend, because Babar Azam is someone who likes to come ahead, play the ball. You know, 100 की strike rate है, 110 की strike rate actually power play में. Most of his games are in Asia. मैंने कहा था Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, these are home conditions kind of for them. So even if they play at spin play pitches, कहीं ना कहीं Shaheen Shah Afridi and all of these guys are going to make the most out of it in the first 10 overs, in the last 10 overs. But talking about batsmen, Babar Azam, 102 matches, 5,000 runs, 58 का average. He's pretty close to Kohli. I mean, I'm looking at these averages and strike rates. He's pretty close to Kohli. And when we know when Babar Azam gets going, there's nothing that stops him. 150 against Nepal the other day. Imamul Haq, on the other hand, थोड़ा inconsistent मुझे लगा है, especially in overseas conditions. Asia में अच्छा खासा record है 57 का, और that is kind of a positive kind of thing for them and people talking about Mohammad Rizwan possibly opening as well, because Rizwan and Babar Azam kind of open in the T20 formats. That is something that Pakistan has experimented but इतना नहीं किया, तो कहीं ना कहीं हो सकता है ये भी एक experiment करे, and depending on what their final squad looks like, because final squad अभी आई नहीं है, that might change around as well. But Australia are very certain with what they want to do and how they want to present themselves in this World Cup. One of the first teams who had a provisional squad announced, and then they only made a few changes, and they have a final squad ready for them. Steve Smith, David Warner, the dream duo partnership, I would say. 142 matches each, and 9,300 runs for Steve Smith and 6,000 runs for David Warner. दोनों का average 45 plus है, और strike rate भी बहुत अच्छा है, and दोनों के पास IPL experience है. I think that's what matters the most here. Between Australia, England, India and Pakistan, mostly Pakistan lack because of the lack of कंडीशंस जो उनको पता है इंडिया में, एंड दैट्स वाई मे बी समटाइम्स थोड़ा उनके लिए मुश्किल हो सकता है. एंड डेविड वार्नर, वी नो व्हाट इज डन फॉर सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद, एंड इट्स नॉट लाइक he's only played in one stadium, he's played all around India, so he has that experience. Steve Smith as well, Rajasthan Royals के लिए quite a key player, so it's not like these guys don't know the Indian conditions well. And Australia का record भी बहुत अच्छा है इंडिया में, and when they come before the World Cup for I think a 3-match series if I'm not wrong, so that'll give them kind of a run go as well, because I think Steve Smith is not playing against South Africa, which might cost Australia some lack of experience. But at the same time, थोड़ा rest चाहिए होता है. Travis Head as my number 3. I think Australia के पास कोई certain number 3 आज तक रहा नहीं है. हर format में तो कोई अलग-अलग होते ही है. And somewhere I thought maybe we would see Usman Khwaja, David Warner as their kind of opening pair, and then you'd have Steve Smith come in at number 3. But that's usually what happens in test matches. I think ODIs, they're trying to go for this new approach. Travis had 2,000 runs in almost 54 games, 40 ka average hai. So Asia mein he's actually quite a good player. 56 ka average. His average increases by 16, which is quite a big kind of increase for someone like Travis Head. He's got some IPL experience as well, if I remember, but he's not got as much as Steve Smith and David Warner. But this is the thing with Australia. I think with Australia, मैं जब उनकी टीम की बात करता हूँ, I think about Australia as a whole, and I say this team is very balanced, and on any good day any one of these guys can show up and play for them. Steve Smith नहीं चलेगा, David Warner कर लेगा, David Warner नहीं करेगा तो Head चलेगा, and then middle order maybe they've got someone like Mitchell Marsh in the bottom as well to help them out, dig them out as well. The way he's been playing in South Africa has been incredible to see. Moving on to England, which is kind of a bit of a shaky discussion, because Joe Root is obviously their number 3, 158 matches, 6,200 runs, 50 ka average, 86, so he's one of the kind of slower ones in terms of playing around, and his average in India as well isn't great. It's only 37, so it's something that they'll have to look into. And obviously they've got a brilliant, I would say one of the best middle orders and bottom orders with Johnny Bairstow, Stokes coming in as well, Harry Brooks possibly being in the squad as well, and then Joss Butler as well. So you've got kind of the perfect end towards that middle to that top order. So somewhere else, but at the same time, Jason Roy was incredible in that 2019 World Cup. Foreign conditions, he's been great. Also struggles in India. Overall average be 40 years. So maybe England ka top order itna strong nahi. And for me personally, talking about my own kind of thoughts, I would say India should be the most favourable side, but if I had to pick anyone else, I think Australia obviously top that list, and to a certain degree maybe Australia tops India's top order as well, because of the fact that I think Australian players are a little bit more sensible depending on the conditions. I think India kabhi kahar bahut jaldi kar deta apne actions ko leke. We've seen that multiple times, which is why I want to call them out, I guess, and say maybe Australia might be the strongest top order team available to play in the World Cup. Let us know what your thoughts are on this, and make sure you leave a like rating on this video. Make sure you subscribe. Daily World Cup content aata rahega, podcasts aate rahenge. We're going to have guests on. We're going to try and get some ex-players on, ex-pundits on to get their experience as well, because I know बहुत सारे लोग जो हैं ये videos देखते हैं just for the fun, just for the sake of jokes as well, but बहुत से ऐसे भी लोग हैं जो enjoy करते हैं stats और ये सब सुनना. So whatever you guys enjoy, let me know in the comments below. Follow us on all of our social media pages for daily news, and I'll see you guys